All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the new coffee room with John from Pro Craps. Here we go. New rhythm to the show. Of course, we started last week doing this, but we're going to start out by playing a little bit every day. I haven't really decided yet if I want to play hard or if I want to play like just have some fun, right? But what I'm going to do, we're going to actually, I can take this out. We're going to buy in every day for about $5,000. What I figure. We do $5,000 buy-in. I'll start by doing some drawdown most days, I think. But really what I'm going to do is start using this time to kind of simulate what it'd be like to wake up in Vegas every day and go play, right? Here's 5K. Let's go out there. I'm going to put 2K out there. Let's go 1,800 across. I'll take 200 bucks change. 1,800 across. And that is simple. 300 bucks per spot, right? The 6 and 8 become your weak spots here. But even if they hit twice, we'll still be on our paycheck. If anything else happens to be our number, we'll be at a little bit extra paycheck. So it's 300 bucks per number. There is no point yet. Let's get a point here established. And then we'll, couple of rolls in here. Hopefully we get 2 rolls and get the hell out, and then we'll go. Today's dice, by the way, I know you can't see this unless I zoom way up in there. Let's see if I can get you to see them. You see those? Those are my Casino Tiers Frosteds. Those are beautiful dice right there. 10 Ton and Ed and the guys at Casino Tiers had a whole bunch of dice printed up. They sold them really fast, but they did hold me back a couple of sticks. One is here actually to give away, which we'll do during a bingo session maybe later in the week. The other one was for me. So anyway, here we go. Let's come on out. Let's catch a point. See how we do first thing in the morning, huh? They're like the old daily paycheck, but a little different. That was a 10, by the way. I rolled that over. There it goes. Come on. Hard 10. Point. Neither dice hit the back wall. Early morning. Haven't had my coffee yet. Got no strength, apparently. So here we go. Hit the gym, fatso. And can we get a couple hits here before we have something ugly happen to us? Well, we got one. There's a 4-2-6. It's the worst possible case, right? We're trying to make 500 bucks, right? Trying to make a simple $500 paycheck, right? That's going to pay $350. Okay, $350, nice and easy. Let's take half of it down, Dallas drawdown style, and we'll go 900 across, okay? And that's as simple as 150 on every number, right? It doesn't really make any, it's not like it's a rocket science bet here, right? It's 150 across now per number. I'll take those last 3, get my 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. It is a little bit of a pain on the dealers have to change colors like that, but it's not the end of the world. And here we go. Here we go indeed. What I should have done, and that's a big, ugly roll. I should have done the ATS. I forgot to do the ATS. I should be doing this every day. I will start doing the ATS in the mornings just to get some extra excitement out there, right? But that was aces. We've had, what, a 6, a 10, and aces so far. I'm not really marking them up very well. All right, that is going to be a 5, and there's our paycheck, right? 325 or 415 rather. It's easy. 150. That pays 210. 210 bucks. Remember, we won 350 earlier, right? So if I take the 50 and the 10 and take these 200 bucks, that's our $500 win, right? And we're playing with the rest of it. And the way that I'm looking at this thing, kind of holistically, is this: if we were to start our day, which I should have done, with like a little pass line bet, if I take that 25 and go like a 5, 10, 5 on the ATS for that quarter, and the other quarter, maybe we take nickel hardways with $5 change and make this dealers across, right? That's the 50 bucks, right? The 500 is just the paycheck part. This is the keep on playing part, right? So we're still playing on a point of 10. We have all the hardways covered. We have the ATS covered. I didn't do that today, so tomorrow I will do that. But so I'll take that 60 bucks back to the rack, and we're good. We got our paycheck right there's. I'll actually put this all back in. There's 500, 1,000, 1,500. There's the 900 across for tomorrow. If I take these up in here, we color them up. There's 1, 2, 300 bucks in green. And there's our $500 paycheck. Actually, there's 900. Hold on, let me get my bracket right. There's 1, 2, 3. There's our 10,000 starting bankroll. There's our 500 paycheck. There's the 60 bucks. That's the way they actually look, right? We have our money for tomorrow morning. There's our 900 bucks to go out with. Today we made 500 bucks, right? That's the way it should go. Let's finish the rollout. I'll put the 60 bucks out there. We'll just go 6 and 8.30 each, and I'll roll this thing out until I see big red, and then we'll talk for a while. How about that? And again, maybe this show becomes a little bit of a crapsy time. I don't know. One roll could take 3 seconds. One roll could take an hour and a half, right? We just don't know. And we'll just keep playing till it goes, right? There's a $35 8. That's great. 35 bucks on the 8. That's actually really good. Let's grab the rest of them, or at least some of the rest of them. 5 change. Spread ourselves out a little bit. Maybe we get to play. Let's see. Hope you guys are doing okay. I really needed some craps this morning. That is a 9, by the way. We've had such a weekend at our house. I'll tell you about it in a little bit. That'll be 14 bucks. I don't have $1 to do, so we'll just make it look like 20. I'll take the 4 back for later. We had quite a weekend over here. You'll see on the start screen later on. Our dogs have been kind of front and center over here. We had 2 dogs have pretty big surgeries over the week. Another 8, by the way, 5-3. 2 dogs had some pretty big surgeries this week, and we've been dealing with them pretty hardcore all weekend. Let's go. Let's take the 8 to 42 bucks. I'll drop 2. And this is, by the way, part of the practice stuff we're going to talk about later on, is knowing kind of what you're going to do. Like knowing where I'm taking these bets ahead of time is part of practice, right? Knowing that on a $30 rate, I'm going to spread on the first. On the second one, we're going to go to 42. And once I collect the 50 bucks, we're gone, right? We're off to the races. I get off to the races a little slower than most people do, but I have to be okay with that. There's an 11 yo. By the way, let's take a look at where we are here. We have hit, I think, the 10. That was a yo right there, right? We have hit a 9. We have hit a 5. And we've hit a 6 and an 8, right? So we're missing what? And we hit the 2s. So I'm missing the 3, 4, and 12. Just kind of keep track of it because we should. Let's go. Only the 8's been the repeater, though. Nothing else has really come more than once except for the 8. Another yo. Repeater pending on the yo. Repeater pending on the yo. Ah, there we go, Mark or Ryan. I see it. I owe you a phone call. You'll know why in a minute. There's a 6. There's a 6. Again, we're going to drop 2. Okay. It's going to pay 35. Okay. We already collected once. We're just going to march that bad boy up. Got my money back, by the way. We started out there with 60 bucks. That money's back in my rack, and I got 42, 42, and 10s everywhere. So we're looking stout. Right? Time to just march these guys up to the ceiling here. Let's go. Nice looking toss. It's a 10. We got that point. We're not on it, but we got the point. So puck's off. Puck's off. Let's come out. Let's come on out. I normally don't like the spread plays, and I've talked about that, Ryan. It worked in crapless, but I don't normally play that way, like this way here, because you waste rolls. Getting spread versus just being there. But crapless is so expensive to quote unquote be there that I thought I kind of had to. So here we go. Let's get to the point is 5. Point is 5. Here we go. Oh boy, big Ray is a 4. Fantastic. 4. All right, that pays 18 bucks. 18 bucks, looks like 25. I'll take my $3 back. We'll pay the VIG if we win it. And I'm going to mark that 4. Looking like a 3 and a 12. 3 and a 12 for the big fatty. 3 and a 12. Everybody gets happy. Let's go. I'm not going to try for it. We're just going to get lucky. We're just going to get lucky today and get it done. Oh, I saw the 1. I saw that 1, I got happy. It's not a 3, it was a 1. 1 and a 3. Dang. But that's okay. 25 pays 50 for 1. 50 for 1 right there. I'm going to flip that. This looks like 50. I'll take the quarter back to my rack. Cool. Locked up some profit. Post profit, right? We already made our paycheck. We already made the paycheck. Extra. What I should do actually is put, next win I'll do. The next hit we get, I'll put on the 10. Let's go. 3 or a 12. 3 or a 12. Come on. That's a 5. It's the 5. That's the point. That'll pay 15 for 1. There's the 1. There's the 15. 10 here. We'll bump you up a little bit. Pucks off. And now we finally have them all covered. Let's go. Little horseman at a high level. I can do that, man. Little big boy horseman would be great. Today would have been interesting, right? We would have had some repeaters out there. All right, 314. That's our next point. Bammo, bammo. I think we can use this time to kind of, go back and do some more strategy testing, right? Every day I can play something fun in the morning and, just get the one. What I want to do is, if I can, scope it down. There's an 8. Scope it down to a couple of, not a 4-3, that was a 5-3. There it goes. All right, that's going to pay 50 for 1. 50 for 1. It's going to go right to 90. Take back my $2. On that deal, the 50 for 1's not necessary. It does give the dealer a green chip to work with. It's like if you're a player, you don't have to do that move. Right, they'll pay you $49 and make it all work, but give them the $1, gives them a couple of quarters, they can make that move very, very easily. Here we go. 4 hard, 4 hard. That's awesome sauce right there. That's the point, baby. All right, that's going to be a couple of bucks in vig. That'll pay us a nice fat black chip right there. Awesome. Again, let's flip the numbers there. Take the win, or take the bet back to the rack and put the win out there. We've doubled up our initial spread on this shooter, which is great on this second round here. So we're doing good. I'd love to see an 8. Actually, what I might do here, if I had the whites, which I now do, let's have a 2-way hop on the 8s. Right? Puck's off. I got $90 out there on the 8. Let's grab an 8. Here we go. 8, 5, 3. How perfect was that, right? You don't want to expose this, right? But we can get a little juice, right? We'll lose 2, right? But we'll win 30 for that $2, and it comes back down. Not too bad, right? Good call. It's like the angel on my shoulder knew exactly what was going to come and had me bet it. But here we go. The puck moves to the 8, and now we're on. That's a bummer when the point becomes 8. We had all those 8s we threw so far today, and it's like that. We're not getting the juice out of that we'd like, right? All right, there's a 4-2-6 with $42 on. Again, we're gonna drop our $1, right? 50 for 1, and let the dealer give us back our $2 and make that move to 90. Now they're both black chip ready, right? We got 2 of them up to black chip level, which is great. Great, let's go. La la la, there's a 6. Oh, you gotta love the 6, right? There's 105. Bam. I will take the black chip. Collect on that guy. And probably what I do in those cases is every time I'm doing that at the casino, collecting the black, dropping them the red. On most of these hits, I'm doing a lot of that. I'm doing a lot of take the green or the black back to the rack and dropping them the whites and the reds as we go. Instead of betting for them, they can share in my wins. There's a, look at that, 516. Whoo, baby. That pays $105. And we're going to go ahead and make it look like 180. So I'll take the cat. Looks like 180. Right? And that's a good chance to drop the dealer's $15. Let them share in your wins, but don't give your losses back to the house, right? I don't like giving my losses to the house. All right, there's a hard 4. Man, we are killing it today. Should be on the hard ways. Remember I said in the beginning we're gonna go hard ways and I didn't do it. Sometimes that's what happens to you, right? All right, there's 200 bucks. There's the $5 in VIG. And again, I'm just gonna flip it over. Stop rolling. Take the bet, place the win. Here we go. Come on, how about a 3 or a 12? Dude, can we do it once? Hard 6, look at this. Look at this, wow, all right. That's 210 right there on the win, 210 on the win. Let's go to, let's take this from 180. Should I go to 210 or 240? Let's go to 240. Let's go to 25. I need to drop a nickel. I should have been ready for that. We'll go to 240. Take 100.5 back to the rack. Still not seeing the 3 or a 12. Come on, man. Come on. There's a 10. That 10 still has 10 bucks on it from the first way back there, right? We're gonna go ahead and make that look like 25 bucks with our $3 and change. Slowly, but surely, this is becoming a pretty okay roll. Here we go. Lighten the shot though, still. That's better. That's better. Okay, that is a 4-4 hard 8. Booyah. Again, it's 105. I've already collected blacks on that 6, so the 8 is not under any constraint. I'm going to take the 15 back, and let's go. Puck is off. That 15 bucks. Again, I'll take it here today, but that would be a dealer tip for me. On a roll like this, that's a dealer's. Dealer shares the win right there. Here we go. Coming out. 6. We're going to be here forever today. I chose a 7, but that was actually a 6. Let's go. Let's do it. Look at that. 6-2 with 240 on it. That's going to pay, I'll drop 20. Okay. That pays 280. That's 300 for 20. And I'll take that. I'll take that. Because again, we can go, oh no, it was only 180. Sorry. Was it 6 or an 8? It was an 8. It was 180. My bad. My bad. 20 bucks back in my rack. Sorry, that's a 210 win. Sorry, I thought I had more money on it than I did. That's 210. And now we'll go to 240 with 240 like the 6. I'll bring 100.5 back to the rack. And I'm gonna have to get some blacks changed in here because we're running low in the house. So there's 100. There's 500 bucks for my rack. Actually, I'm going to bring it like this. There's 5, 2, 3, 4. That was the earlier profit. I'll take that as a purple. I'll drop 25 bucks and take 4 plus 1 also as a purple chip. Just to the rack. My dealer rack is getting low on blacks. So. Alrighty. Let's do it. This probably answers the question, should I be playing craps in the morning or not, right? Some days it's going to be one hitting off. Some days it's going to be like this. There's a 10-6-4 for $1. Pays 50. And again, we're going to flip the bet like so. $1 to the rack, 25 to my rack. It's my favorite way to play the 4 and 10. 5 and 9 have done nothing for us. They've been sitting there on 15 and 20 bucks since we started this damn thing. They hit once each and that's it. Here we go. Oh, ugly roll. Speak of the devil, there's the 5. I got 15 bucks on it. That pays 21. $21. Let's make it look like 35. I'll just leave that out there. Take the $1 back. If we can get lucky, we'll grab 50 bucks off that thing. It's been a pretty non-productive number, but we'll let it run if it can. Here we go. Nice looking toss. Another hard 8. Woo! Now we got 240 on it, right? Yeah, I got 2. Now it's going to pay 300 for 20. Like so. 300 for 20, and that is a beautiful thing. Let's take it to 425. Again, I'll drop a quarter here. Looks like 450 and brings back a purple chip on the next 8. But I'll put a black in the rack. Put a black in the rack just the same. That 8's ready to go. Man, if we had the hard ways going, Ryan, how much money would you have made in the hard ways today? Seriously, how much money would you have made in the hard ways? My God. I know Ryan presses both the 4 and 10, but I've only seen 2 10s all day. So it's like, I get what you're doing there. I just feel like, for me personally, let's press the one that's happening. Oh, we did it. Look at this. We got the 8. Woo! Press what's happening. That's fantastic. That's going to pay 5 1/4. I love that hit right there. 450 to 525. Booyah. That's all coming home. Get the Barney Fife in the rack. Love it. Man. But I still want to see a 3 or a 12 just for fun. Just for funsies. Where's my 3 and my 12? Come on. Ah, there's a 7. Damn it. We didn't get the ATS, but I'll tell you what. If we had been doing the hard way thing today, we'd have retired. I mean, I think I hit 6 or 7 hard ways today. I know there was at least 2 hard 4s. But the big thing would have been the hard 8 parlay. That hard 8 would have parlayed like crazy. Good little run this morning, huh? So we have our $500 that we did in the first session, right? That was whatever. That was our daily paycheck. And after that, we made $1,000. We made 1,000, 1,100. There's a 1,200. Look at that. We made $1,300 today, and a bunch of whites. $1,300 on a good little roller right there, right? That 8 was popping. I know some people in the world named Ed or Heavy would have probably made 10 grand on that 8 today, right? I pressed it super light from the beginning. Man, there was a lot of money on that thing. That was a fun little run, right? Not what I expected to see in the morning, but whatever, man. We'll take it. We'll take the run. All right, let's go back over here. And I need my mouse back. My show switcher has stopped working for some reason. I don't know why. Did I stop? Let's see. Stream deck. Okay, let's go back over here. I'm going to do it by hand. I know y'all want to see my lovely face today. And there I am. Good morning, everybody. Wow, that was a 20-minute run right there, huh? Little good morning, little 20-minute out the gate, make a couple $1,000. How about that, man? That was pretty fun. So anyway, good morning, welcome back. I think we're going to be in pretty good stride this week. I hope. Cross fingers. This is going to be a good stride week for us. Studio's looking better. I got things set up kind of the way I want. I got some wires out of the way so I can walk without tripping. Camera's a little more stable over there. I'm not sure how clear it is. Feels like it's not so blurry like it was the other day to me, but yeah, I think we're going to be in good shape moving forward here. Let's actually run ahead here, and I want to talk to you about a couple of things. Nothing really big or earth-shattering today, but just want to be. Hold on one second. I got to get to. Why won't this thing switch screens for me? There we go. Oh, geez. What happened? What happened? That is stupidly funny. Let me fix this window here. I'm not sure why it's doing. See, the problem is my camera, where that thing is now look at this. I got a mess. Sorry. Good gravy. Let's make that. Hold on. Square. Hold on. Wide. Why won't it show me the right size? Whatever. Hold on. I can fix it. I can fix it. Watch this. We're going to go to the camera thing. We're going to do this like this. Whoa, Nelly. Yeah, something's weird with my setup. Okay. I'll fix it later. Sorry about that. Anyway, a couple of things to go over. One is this. First things first, fantasy football. I got to get it off my chest. My son, I love my son. I love my son like he's my own son, right? I always say that to him. He talks a lot of smack. His fantasy football team is pretty good. He likes to talk a lot of smack, and I beat his ass this week. So I don't beat him very often. I don't win very often. I'm not very great at fantasy football, but this week my guys did it, crushed him, and he is not happy. Not even talking to me. The other thing is this: the doggy patrol. I made light of this last week, and one of the things we have to do here is, besides be craps players, is we're all friends. We're all friends here, right? And so my life is a little upside down right now. We have two dogs. You know my dogs, right? Gino and Rosie. Some of you have met the dogs, and they're good. They're good kids. However, Gino was born with a congenital defect in his leg, so he basically was born with a torn ACL. But they couldn't operate on him until he got to be a year and a half, closer to 2 years old. Let his, everything else in his body kind of grow up. So now we can do the surgery for him. Rosie was chasing a ball and popped her ACL about a month and a half ago or so. And as a result, her other leg that she was limping on got jacked up too. So on Thursday this past week, the reason why there was no show on Friday, no show on Thursday rather, we went to the vet and took both dogs in. Rosie had both knees done. Both her knees had knee replacements basically, and Gino has one. So I have two dogs upstairs that are in crates right now, both recovering from major knee surgery. So every hour it's like, get them up, walk them around the kitchen really slow, sit, stand, outside, 2-minute walk, go to the bathroom, and have a little sling. I got to carry them by like, put a sling around their waist. I got to carry them around like a piece of luggage, so their feet don't really hit the ground that much. And then in we go back to the cage, rub them down, ice them up. It's a whole thing. It's like every hour. It's like 20 minutes out of every hour is spent on dog patrol. So that's why, like I said, I come down here. My camera wasn't quite set right, wasn't perfect. I haven't had time. I've been doing all dog all the time for a couple of days. But you know what? But we love them. We love them. Crash Measure said the wall is not green anymore. It is actually green. I think you can see it in this shot here. I have the choice of doing this. When I go to my software, I can say it's a green screen. I think I have it. I don't know where the button for that is, but I can choose green. Oh, it's over here. I can choose green screen or not. I can click the button and say green screen, and it goes to silver or whatever. If the wall was not covered with pictures, it was all green, then I have a great background, right? So the long-term recovery is this. So that takes, so basically for about 2 weeks, they're in the cage. Can't do anything for 2 weeks. It literally lay down. They have some special medicine that kind of, tranks them a little bit, and that's it. And they can only walk for like max 5 minutes, and that's it. And really kind of wears them out. And it's a lot of like, I do this passive range of motion. I kind of like stretch their arms out like this. It takes another 2 weeks, and then they can have their cones off because the wound will be healed, or the stitches will be healed. And then from that point on, they can actually walk without the suitcase thing, the sling thing. And they can take 2 or 3 stairs by themselves. 2 more weeks after that, they can go on a 10-minute walk, no hills, in weeks, whatever, 4 to 6 or something like that. We can take them to a grassy field and let them trot a little bit. It takes 12 weeks to get the whole thing done. So by about January, they'll be done. It's going to be a mess. Yeah. Gary says, by the way, I need more light. I do need better lights. I have a softbox under the table. I got to mount it. So one thing's I'm going to mount that monitor you can't see up on the wall. And next to that will be the softbox. And this light up here, I told you, is going to get gone. That's a bedroom light. It's going to go away and become a chandelier and probably never be used. Anyway, thanks for hearing my stuff about the pups. I do want to talk to you about a couple of things. So one, a quick Crash for the Cure update for you. The final drawing for the raffle items will be on Veterans Day, the 11th of November. We'll do a special show for that, which means in the meantime, everything is still up for grabs in the meantime. Okay, so we'll do a little bit of a promo each day and talk about it. You can go to crapsforthecure.com. The raffle link is still active. Go hit the raffle link. There are a couple of things there that I think we need to be thinking about pretty hardcore. And let me, I'm not sure if I can get there. Let me try real quick. I didn't set this up. I'm doing this kind of on the fly, but I think we should take a look at a couple of things. Let's see how good does that screen look. Can you see me okay? Let's go there, crapsforthecure.com. And I want you to go to the raffle link. And a couple things in the raffle here I think are important. One is going to be Joe's table. Okay, Joe's table, Joe's table, Joe's table. This thing is amazing, right? The pictures don't do it justice. That this the chessboard piece of it's handmade, right? Acrylic. All of our chips are in there, right? The whole thing flips over, so it goes from like the chessboard to a craps throwing station. That thing. I don't have a picture up here, but he's got a video. You can watch the video of it. It flips over, and there's a chair that becomes a throwing station. So the chair, you put a table on it. You can throw from the chair to the deck, and it's beautiful. It's handmade. There's one of these in the whole world, right? It's a piece of furniture. It's not just a craps table. It's literally a beautiful piece of furniture besides being a craps table that you can practice on. So it's awesome, right? That thing needs to have. This thing has got about, I think, 800 raffle tickets sold for $1 a piece. This thing needs to have 2,000 raffle tickets sold. I'm sorry. It's such a good item. We have to get on that thing. So this item is still up for auction, right? They all are. The other one I wanted to point out to you was this one over here, the private chef. Now, this is actually his food. These pictures are his stuff, right? Chef Ashish, you know him as Chef Yo. He is a world-renowned chef. The guy's cooked for multiple presidents. He used to work at Buckingham Palace. He was a sous chef at Buckingham Palace. He's legit, and he's willing to fly to your house. He's going to fly to your town, his expense. He will cook you dinner for up to 10 people and brunch the next day. You just got to buy the ingredients. You make him tell you what you want. You buy the food, have it there for him. He'll walk in there and he will chef it up at your place, right? These are the kind of things that like you'll never get a chance to do again. Like having a world-class chef in your house doing the thing is amazing. Casino Player Magazine, by the way, they're going to extend their offer. If you buy a subscription between now and November 11th, they will kick back $5 for every subscription sold. Great magazine. I'm a subscriber. They have been for years. But that's also another auction item, right? Again, the Platinum Craps thing, the Casino Tiers Pro Pack. Again, it's 2 sticks of dice, right? It's the one only USA mug plus the hat, right? That's a great thing. The handmade cutting board, which is awesome. You saw that cutting board there at the event. That thing is amazing, right? And of course, my cruise. You got the classes with bow and with heavy. All of these things are still up, right? All the auction items are still up and available. So jump into those things, okay? We're going to play some, not today, but I'm not set up for it today, but tomorrow we'll play some more bingo. And in bingo, we're going to give away the Casino Tiers stick of dice. We're going to give away the win. These win dice are awesome. These win dice are amazing, right? These things are, blue and white. They're not even voided out, right? They're pretty awesome, right? And I've got another set of dice. We got stuff. We're gonna play some bingo this week and have some fun. Anyway, that's it for that. Every day I'll remind your family, right? It's not just us, right? Tell your family, hey, there's a chef out there who wants to come cook for us, right? Let's all pool our money and put it in there and get Chef Ashish at the house. Okay, let's talk about practice a little bit. Now, today's rolls, I'm going to go back and log that set of rolls. I think somebody put into the chat, I'm almost sure, Duracell, right? There's the 6/8 pressing collection, right? 98, right? 90, 180, 420, 900, whatever, right? When a roll like that happens, and they don't happen very often, especially when your name is John, right? That you got to be ready for that. But you only get ready for that if you're ready for that. And so what I want to talk to you about today is this. I'm going to start doing what Joe does in the mornings. Now, it may be boring for you, and I really don't care. This is one of those things where I say, it's my show, and I don't care. I think we all need to be mindful of things. And I know that like the math people will say this is all ludicrous, right? But I'm putting it out there anyway. I think practice is important. And I think it's important for a lot of reasons. I think, it gets your head in the game. And I think we all know, I don't know who it was that said it at Crash for the Cure. It was Heavy. It was Heavy's thing. Remember he said in his segment, he said, what was one of the takeaways from Heavy? Don't eat. Don't play after you eat. Because when you eat, right, your brain goes to mush. Your body, all your blood is going to digest. You're not thinking right. Your mechanics everything's off when you eat. And I think from that standpoint, I want to be mindful, right? And I think that some things are important. Whether you believe in throwing good or not, it doesn't matter. rhythm matters to me, right? Even if you don't think dice control is a thing, I think being in rhythm with your toss is important because it puts your body into rhythm, right? Jeremy from Color Up does not believe in dice control at all. He's in rhythm when he throws. He gets the dice, he has a way that he grabs them, does one shake, grabs them, and throws them. And he actually throws in the same spot every single time, believe it or not, right? But it's a rhythm to him, right? He waits, he gets his bets in, dice come, he grabs, quick shake, and go as a random thrower, right? I have a way that I do it. Joe's got a way he does it. Getting into rhythm in your toss, I think, is important because it just centers everything, right? I think that as people, when you're centered, you just do better, right? As a whole, it helps you get into your betting rhythm. Now, today was a good example. We had a great roll today, okay? And Duracell puts out a potential pressing rhythm, right, for the 6 and 8. It doesn't matter what number it is. I say to you, my favorite way to play the 4 and 10 is whatever it is, right? Whatever that is for you, you got to know what that is for you. And I think it's an important thing to see how that works. Let me actually flip over. I'm going to go to the table really quick. Let's go this way here. And I'm going to show you what I mean by this. And I think having your money ready to go and practicing it as you go, what you want your moves to be, I think is an important thing. So for example, what I was doing today on the 4 and 10, right? My rhythm is always, right, from a $10 10, I know we're getting paid 18 bucks, right? And again, depending on the house, if it's an auto buy house, when that bet comes, right, just tell them take it to 25. Don't even let them pay you. Just take it 25. Take your $3. They make it a quarter, right? From this point forward, that's the one time that I do a full press, right? That's the one time I do it and I call it that, right? Take it to there. And I have my money back. Now I've got my VIG for the next one. And then my rack, I've got my whites, typically speaking, set aside in a special spot just for this purpose, right? Because when I know every time on the 4 and 10, my rhythm is always flip it, right? Or exchange it or swap it. Whatever the word you and your dealers agree on, doesn't matter. I tell them, I want you to give me the bet, place the win. I'll take that and drop their VIG. And if you're in rhythm with it, now I know my next one is going to be the $2 in VIG. I know when that thing comes and it pays 100 for 2, I'm going to tell them swap it, boom, boom, and I get my 50 bucks back, right? Every time. The rhythm that I'm in, and again, if you're in your rhythm of pressing them both, fine. Know in your rack what you're going to do. It doesn't matter what you do here, right? If you're going to be the guy that does this, and this could be your rhythm, you could go from 10, like we did the first time, to that quarter with your change, right? Take that quarter, make it look like 75 when it hits, right? For your $2. Take the 75 at 150 and make it look like 200 and take back the quarter. That might be your rhythm to get that 4 up as fast as you possibly can, right? And then take a nice $400 win for 10 bucks, right? And again, probably drop your deal with a 15, take 400 bucks. If you want to go there with it, fine. Have your dollars in your rack and know that's what you're going to do. When I talk about practicing, I'm not talking about practicing throwing. I'm talking about practicing what happens when. What happens when this thing hits 4 times? What happens when that thing hits and there's hard ways involved? What happens when I want to go with my 6 and 8, right? For me, the 6 and 8, it's always a pretty simple bet for me, right? We know, right, 18 pays 21. Where do you go from here, right? What do you want to do with your $18 bet at $21, right? Do you want to go to $35, $36 with it, right? Take a $36 and be like marching down the road. Easy press for the dealers. You got a little bit of change back. Do you want to just take it to 30, right? Just take it to 30 and get back a little bit of pittance, right? But know that ahead of time. Know what you're going to drop them. If you want to go to 42, you got to drop some money down, right? Think about where you want to head. Like my favorite ones are when I'm here, when I'm 30 bucks. Like I know when I get to 30 and it pays 35, right? I know I'm dropping that $2. I'm taking back a quarter and it looks like 42. I know that ahead of time, like this. But you got to practice it. You got to have your, like, you can't see the rack, but have your rack set with your whites in the rack where they go. Like have your drop-ins in your rack. I can do it here. I guess this rack will work for us, right? If I take this rack out, like have your white chips in your rack. Like that's going to be the 50 for 1 on the 4 and the 10, right? This is going to be my $2 for the 6 and 8 to go to 42 from 30. And the 5 and 9, I don't need anything because the 5 and 9 from 25 to me go to 35. I'm going to get money back. I can leave those spots blank for later, but I know when the number hits, I'm ready to go. I practice this. I practice having my rack ready to rock and roll so I don't make a mistake at the casino, right? And I think what Heavy's point was earlier was if you're eating and your brain ain't right and you're drunk or whatever, you're going to make a mistake. You're going to forget what you're doing and you're going to do a same bet when you didn't mean to, right? Or you're going to press full when you didn't mean to. So practice your betting. I think it's an important thing. I think it can't be understated like how important it is to practice the basics. Betting rhythm, those little drop this in, go to that, drop this in, go to that, full press, full collect here. Know what that's going to be. Using your rack in a smart way to get your money set up for the next one, or use your rack to track stuff. That's a pretty cool thing too. One thing else we're going to do, and I'll take today's roll, I'll log the rolls later on, okay? I'm going to build us a set of rolls for testing. Now, I think this is an important thing because you've got to know what strategies you like to play or the ways you like to play, whether it's one of the 1,000 ways that Waylon has for us, right? Or whether it's one of the 5 ways that I do it. I think having a set of rolls that are pretty indicative of what you see at a casino, like a 0.7 out, right? But not just a PSO. Maybe it's a 7, 11, 2, set an 8, 7 out. Maybe it's a 7, 7, set an 8, then you get a 3, a 12, and a 7 out. Those are both PSOs, but they're different rhythms for you, right? They're different ways that it comes to be. And having a pre-built set of rolls that match the common things that we see, that kind of a PSO, a straight PSO. Maybe it's a set an 8, hit a 6 and a 9, 7 out. Maybe it's set an 8, hit an 8, set a 6, 7 out. Those types of rolls, I think we need to have a library of them. Because when you are testing your strategies out, it's fine to roll the dice like I do every day and say, oh, I would have won today. I would have won tomorrow. Next day I lost. I think it's good to have a set of rolls. Say, look, how would the way I want to play, the horseman, the whatever, how would that have done if the session today had everything? If it was choppy and you can, play the PSO, the 5 roller, the PSO, the 10 roller, and simulate a choppy system. You can have it be all shit in the beginning and all good at the end. You can mix those shooters up a little bit in your practice sessions, but practice against known rolls. Don't be surprised by the rolls, in other words, right? How did I do in a session where I had 7 PSOs, a 20 roller, a 10 roller, but they never came in a good order for me? Did I survive it? Right? It's like this. There's a famous math experiment that, and I think I told you this before. It was how they came up with this way of betting called the Kelly criterion. And the Kelly criterion is it's the optimal way to bet when you know the results. Okay. Now, again, we're going to know the results here. You're going to have probably 40 shooters that you know what the results are. But Kelly, the way that they figured this out was they gave all these, I think it was a bunch of math students. I think it was a bunch of stat students, actually. And they said, look, like 1,000 people did this experiment. We're going to flip the coin 100 times. Okay. And we're going to tell you ahead of time, 60 of them will be heads. Now, they didn't tell you when, but they said 60 of them will be heads. You have the advantage. You know going in, you know the results going in. You're going to win 60 times. If you just bet heads, same bet every time, you're going to bet heads, right? There are people in that study that lost money knowing that they were going to win 60 times out of 100. There are people who quadrupled their money, right? Because they bet in a quote unquote smart way, right? There's a way that you manage your rack and your bankroll when you're betting. Well, that's called, there's a whole series of books and videos called the Kelly criterion. Now, there's no way to use that in craps. We never know ahead of time that we have an advantage, except for when you're on the don't and the bet gets through, right? If you can guarantee a bet gets through, you can Kelly criterion that bet. That bet, once a don't pass is through or don't come is through, it's got a 60% chance to win. It matches almost perfectly, right? But getting the bet through clean is the hard part. Anyway, this idea that I've got for us, right? To take and say, look, here's a known set of criteria, known set of roles, right? Can you optimize the way you play to take, hey, look, if it's 5 crappy guys in a row, or it's chop, or it's all good in the beginning and then all bad at the end, right? Mix and match those roles into all different scenarios, right? Can your strategy survive in all the ways? Can it survive when it's shitty in the beginning and great at the end? Can you get to the end, right? Can it survive when you start out hot and it goes to hell? Can it survive when you're in a chop? And you don't have to roll the dice to get there. I'll roll the dice. I'll roll the dice here on the show. We'll catch all the different scenarios and I'll give them to you. And then you can put them into win craps, whatever you want to do, or just say, here's the sheet of paper and I'm going to roll today these shooters. And how did I do against those shooters? In whatever order you want to mix them up and put them on index cards, shuffle the cards. Here's shooter 1. How did we do? I think that's going to be an interesting way to test yourselves out and optimize. And you're going to find when you do that, there are many, many, many holes in the way that you play. I have certainly found that, right? There's a lot of holes in the way that I play. That's where like the horseman came, not just the horseman, right? But the 4-to-1 horseman, right? When I play the horseman, most of the time, I'm not 1-to-1. I don't do a $10 don't come and $10 come bets. I do either 20 on the don't or 25 on the don't and 3 10s. Or I do 50 and 3 25s. There's a reason for that. If I can afford it, like Waylon said this morning, the big boy is 4-to-1, $100 on the don't, and then 3 $25 come bets, 4 size to 1 size. That's optimized because I did this exercise. I went through and made a bunch of rolls that fit all these different criteria. And I found that optimizing that strategy 4-to-1 or 3-to-1 or 2-to-1, just definitely not 1-to-1, makes that thing stronger on those shorter rolls. And on the longer rolls, right, I'm set up with better sized bets up there. And I'm okay losing the bigger don't because the bad rolls make up for that, right? By having that bet at 4-to-1, when I win on the 7 on rolls 1, 2, or 3, I win that enough times that when it goes south, losing the big black chip on the don't is okay. That's where that ratio came from, right? That's why the 3-to-1 iron cross ratio is so great, right? People play the iron cross where it's all the bets are even. I've seen people play iron cross where it's $15 on the 5. And I've seen guys do $15 on the 5, 6, and 8, and 15 in the field to win $1, right? That's you're going to get destroyed playing that way. And the only way that you know that is to run it against known sets of rolls. So I don't think you need 10,000 rolls to get it done. I think you need a known set of rolls that are small in scope. The Kelly criterion did not give the students 10,000 coin flips. They gave them 100 coin flips, right? It's a small scope. And through that small scope, you can kind of see things. So that's, I think, what's important, right? For me, anyway. So I'm going to start in the mornings logging these rolls as we go. And as we do that, over the course of the next month or so, we'll catch a good sequence of rolls that matches all of it. I'm going to PSO. I'm going to PSO in a few different ways, probably, right? It's not always going to be direct PSO. So today was a good one. Today we had probably, I don't know what was that roll today, about 20 or so, right? Whatever that happened to be. That was a good roll. It was a good 20 roller because the 8, you can't see, but the 8 went crazy. It was a good 20 rolls where the 4 went really good, the 8 went really good, the 6 had a few times. Some numbers were gone and absent. That's good. That's a good sample size. That's a good sample roll because you can say, oh God, what if I'm betting just the even numbers, or if I'm betting just the outsides, or I'm betting just, whatever, doing an iron cross on that same roll, right? The iron cross today would have got bled out a little bit depending on how high your field was with all the inside numbers. Anyway, that's what I want to do. So I think practicing all of it, right? Practice our throwing rhythm, practice our betting rhythm, practice our rack management, and start building up a set of rolls. So I'm going to do all those things, right? I'm going to start in the mornings really being more mindful. I'm not just going to walk up here and go, oh, let's have one sip of coffee and hope to God we can make $1,000, right? That's not the goal anymore, right? I'm going to take this time between now and the next time I go and say, what is my actual rhythm? That when I really practice, I'm going to shoot like that in the morning. I'm going to take my dice. I'm going to go here. I'm going to get my set like I do in the casino. I'm going to turn them, get them where I want them. Take my, and like I do, you watch me in the casino. You watch Ryan, he's going to put a video out, right? You'll watch me. You'll watch my hands. Let's go to this screen here. You'll watch my hands when I shoot at the casino. Here come the dice, right? I'll get my set. I'll spread my fingers out and I'll release from the table almost every time. If I don't do that, that means I'm out of rhythm, right? And I stack them. I look at my stack. I generally speaking do this. I'm trying to get my fingers dried out, but also stretch a little bit. And then I release and I get a breath, and then I go back in and take my shot. Rarely do I go from here to here, right? I always release and come back in. Just my way. It's my way of finding my center, right? And again, whether you think that matters or not is immaterial to me, right? For me, that rhythm puts me in a spot where I feel like I'm good. Like I feel like I'm comfortable, got my breath out, and it's just the thing, right? For Jeremy, like I said, Jeremy doesn't have the thrower's curse, right? He just goes, gets a dice, gets him in his hand, and lets him go. But every time it's the same speed every time. He has his little way of doing it, and it's great because it's his center. I think you find your center, it's all good, right? I think that's a pretty good thing. All right, let's take a look at any questions you have. I'm gonna kind of I gotta get I have a work meeting at 8:30, so I want to make sure I'm out of here in time. Let's go ahead and filter here for any questions. I'll do this here. Put letter Q in. Are there no questions? Okay, cool. That's great. How about PCs? I love it when there's no questions and no PCs. It means I either did a great job or I bored the crap out of you. Okay. So Mark the Point says, good morning. Okay. And then he says, my spread your wings video is coming out today. The crapless Johnny, right? I literally, like I said, I'd never played crapless. I said to myself, walking up to that table, I'm not going to play crapless like regular craps. Like I think, I know people who just play the insides, or what did you call it? The old school or the traditional 160 across, whatever you called it, right? I wasn't going to go to the crapless table and ignore the outsides and say, I'm just going to play on this table, but play my regular way. I wanted to embrace the game, but I also didn't want to go $25 on all the numbers. I wasn't ready to do that either, or even go $15 on all the numbers. I just didn't want to put $200 out there and really just blast. So I decided to do a little growth, and I don't like to do the growing strategies. I don't like to bet inside grab, like a lot of people do. I feel like it takes you out of the game. But on the crapless table, I thought, let me get the extremes and let me get them paid for, and then I'm going to watch the game, right? And that's what I did. I got the extremes, I pulled my inside bets down, and I watched it happen. I let the game go, and I collected or re-got the inside. So spread the wing strategy is literally that. It's going to be inside bets spreading to the extremes coming back in, like you're flapping your wings, right? So you're in and you're out. Once you get across, then you can play craps like normal. It was pretty fun. I have to admit, it was fun playing some crapless. So there's that. Jen said, I think you're responding to when I said, tell your friends. So I did that. I reached out to a friend, and she wanted to pool our tickets to win the chef thing. That's awesome. That's a really great, it's easy to share, right? And I'll give you, I'm going for it too. So me and you, we have so y'all know that I moved, right? I'm in a small town called Wenatchee, Washington, which is it's small. It's about 80,000 people. But we got family here. We got my wife's two sisters. Her one sister's single. Her one sister's married. That's 3. We've got her father. That's the 4. We got her sister's husband's mother, Jerry. So she's the 5th. And we've got cousins, right? Cousin and his wife. There's 7 of them plus me and Kathy. What we do is on birthdays, everybody on their birthday picks a restaurant. We all go to that restaurant. We take up a whole corner of it. We all pay for the birthday person. That instead of buying presents, that's what we do. We just go buy the person a thing. We're bidding on the chef because for somebody's birthday, how cool would it be to have the chef come out and do that, right? So yeah, I'm going against you. I want that. I want a sheesh over here. But yeah, that's a great one to bid on. The cruise also is a good one to kind of share a bid on because you can put money in the cruise. One person at least wins a free cruise. If your spouse wants to go, you're getting the cruise for half the price, effectively, right? That's another good one. So I think that's a really cool thing. Let's see. If I win, you guys can come 100% come crash the dinner. Absolutely, you're welcome over here. You got to come to my house anyway. So Ryan says, honestly, some of the craps is feeling and not as structured, right? You're right. I can see, and we talked about this at Craps for the Cure a little bit, right? The higher level better just goes, right? there's to me there's structure. I think you should make a thumbnail out of that, because there is structure at the lower levels, right? When I'm 64 across and I got to get where I'm going to be, and it's like, press one here and press over here, and we're going to half press that one, and we're going to collect here. When that gets to green, I'm going to take the money back, and my rack looks good, right? It's all this structure, and then at some point you go, like today, I got it, right? We got 100. I collected that first black. I'm like, hey, I made $100 on that shooter. I don't give a damn anymore. Boom. Now it's feeling. Now it's going to press the 8 to 450, right? Instead of going from 35 to spread out, 35 to 42, 50 for one and collect, all that work on those first 3/8 wastes 3/8, right? Lower levels, early in the hand, way more structure. I think my idea for practicing fits that perfectly. I think your idea of saying, fuck it, man, go when you're at the high levels, that's that pedal to the gas type of thing, pedal to the floor. That's that feeling that you get, right? When do you do that? And when you get there, you better know what the hell you're doing. Most of us don't get to purple chip level that often, right? Those bets are different. Those bets, 240 to 450 is not for most people, right? But you got to know what happens. 240 to 450 pays 5.25, right? The second 5.25 goes to 900, right? You don't even collect the second one. The first one you take $500 back. The second one you go right to $900, right? 900 pays 1050, just like 90 pays, right? Get the banana chip in your rack, or if you want to be a complete degenerate, go to 1800 and take 2 bananas the next time. If you got that kind of stamina, right? At the higher levels, you're going, man. That 8 is popping. We're just gonna hit the 8 and see what happens today. I can see that. At lower levels, I love your idea, Ryan, of talking about structure at the lower level. That's such a beautiful thing. No update on the cruise schedule yet. My cruise schedule is this. I am going to cruise Alaska on July 4th. Where we're leaving from is to be determined. Right now, I thought we were leaving from Seattle to go to Alaska and back. It sounds like that cruise that was scheduled through Premier is going to be leaving from Anchorage and coming down and leaving you in Vancouver, British Columbia, which means everybody's flights are going to be weird. I got to figure that out. So I'm working through that. The other cruise that I'm doing in March, that's going to be LA to Mexico, I'm probably going to cancel that cruise. Nobody signed up for it, which is okay. I can get out of it. The cruise that we're doing with Craps for the Cure that winter, that cruise will be in that same time frame, but I think Royal Caribbean wants us to leave on that cruise out of Florida. So it might be going to the East Coast and doing the cruise and then coming back over here. So TBD, I've got to talk to Don and the guys this week and figure that out. So I will let you know. But the dates will be, they will be July 4th, whether it's from Seattle and up and back, or whether it's Anchorage to Vancouver and home. The Anchorage to Vancouver one makes it hard for travel, so we got to figure that out. Either way, it's going to be a great cruise. The one that goes from Anchorage to Alaska or Anchorage to Vancouver, it's still 7 days. It goes way slower. You see way more. Like, it's a way better cruise. It's an experience, that one. But you got to fly to Anchorage, and then you got to fly back home from Vancouver. So it's a little bit harder on the travel, but 7 days coming down that passageway versus 3 days up and 3 days back, the time spent in that part of the world is so much better. So that's why I think we're going to do that. So, I think, the extra day, and I think there's an extra, I want to say there's an extra excursion. Maybe, I think one of them is like an 8-hour excursion. I think there's 2 of those on that cruise, which is just, it's stupidly cool to do that. It's like, it's a bucket list cruise for sure. Bucket list cruise. Yes and yes on this one here. Meet up in Biloxi. I don't know when or when. My mother is moving from Florida to New Jersey in the spring. Don't know when. It's going to be either in May, could be June, it could be April. I don't know when she's moving, but she's moving from Florida to Jersey. When she moves, of course, be over there to help her out. That would be the AC meetup. So I'm going to try and arrange that as soon as I know it with Jeff and the gang, and try and get the AC group together, and I'll make that a targeted date for me. And I know those guys play together all the time, but for me to get out there once in a while, it's kind of nice. So when we know her moving dates, we'll know on that one. Biloxi, I as far as I know, I want to lock him in, but I think Ed's planning on another Brownwater Bash. As far as I know, there's one coming up in in June, like it was last year. So I'm assuming June is a brown water bash. I'm planning right now to be in Biloxi in June for that. I'm trying to like clear the month so I can do it. But I don't know. That's to be determined. So, all right, that's all the questions we got. That's all I got for you today. Just again, we're gonna log rolls in the mornings for practices, and you'll see me starting to do more practice what I preach. Now that you can see my rack on the camera every day, you can watch my throw rhythm every day. We'll start doing it more mindfully and start getting into rhythm. To be determined still if I want to do crapsy in the morning. I think it's better if I don't. Some days you might only get one shooter, right? Most days you get one shooter, I guess. So I think it's better if I don't. I think it goes faster and I can get back to here quicker. So that's it, folks. You all have a good Monday, a good start to your week. Wish me luck with these dogs that they get through this first. The first 2 weeks are kind of the critical ones. They don't screw their legs back up again, but wish me and Kathy luck getting through that. And in the meantime, God bless all you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless.